Hello, welcome back. This is Grillenheimer. I gotta make this super quick. I'm not gonna show the game. I'm gonna show you what I have, and I might play around with them. I'm on my lunch. And okay, I've never really played much with Sky Shadow since I've gotten him. And if I'm reading this correctly, with Sky Shadow Sync, okay, when they're KO'd, you have Ominous outside the game. Whoa. Got the sunlight behind me. Combine them into Sky Shadow Elite Warrior with Ominous in the head mode. So while he is normally, 1 star, would take up a star, I'm guessing you can be maxed out with your star count, as long as this is your 25th star, and be able to, to include Ominous without having to include his star count of 3. So, and since you can have more than one stratagem, you just can't have duplicates of the same stratagem, which wouldn't make sense anyway. Which, if the game didn't get canceled, I would, could foresee them having Sky Shadow having multiple stratagems, but only being able to play one or maybe both. But you're still having to sacrifice, how many stars are on the stratagem. I've actually thought I would try Trax with his stratagem, with Sky Shadow and his stratagem. So this totals 14. 14. Maybe this is too much. I didn't think it was. 14, 19, 23, 24, 25. Okay, yeah, I'm fine. And so with this, when they combine, I can still use Ominous. And they're gonna pit them against my my biker gang and the rescue boys deck, and I'm going to see what happens. Let's see, and then if I have time, I might go over what's in this deck, which is a very mixed deck. There's not a whole lot of blue. It's mostly orange, but it's very mixed. So we'll go from there and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Well, that was game 1. I wish I could kind of record my stuff. It went quicker than I thought. It was a little less than 20 minutes. We got started going good. Now, I missed the extra turn. I used Papa Wheelie and forgot to use one of my motorcycles to attack a second turn. So this probably should have gone a lot differently. And since I had forgotten and they had already taken their full turn, I just kept going as if as if I was playing with a real person. I probably wouldn't have been able to make up that turn anyway. So I just kept going. They lost. She had 1 health left. I think it was Sea-Watch that actually took out Trax. We were kind of gaining up on Trax a little bit. Got him out of the way, and then we knocked out the Sky Shadow plane. In the meantime, over here, gosh, I'm trying to remember my cards. And yeah, I've got different. All my sleeves aren't all the same color, but my memory's so bad I can't remember what's what. We had a pig charge on him on one of the pieces, and I actually used what was it? It was the shoulder holster. Was it shoulder holster? No, it wasn't a shoulder holster. It was something, the other card where it's a utility. That is a utility. Okay, that's right. It was a metal detector. And when you attack, you can reveal the top card of your deck and you can use it. Well, it was another utility. It was actually the basic combat protocol here. So I put it on the Sky Shadow plane. Since I hadn't flipped for the attack yet, well, it gives him another bold, and the plane has bold too. And essentially, I gave myself bold, a total of bold 3, in which just completely knocked out, overkilled, fix it, actually. I did have a diagnosis over here, and I got to repair a whole 1 off Chromium, and I'm like, oh, I got to draw a card. No, because I have Specialist Flame War over here, and I'm like, oh, darn. But was able to use Escape Route and Rapid Conversion. I used her for her turn to flip, and used the action cards to flip her back, and I was able to get 2 battle card flipped plasma horns that way. Had one on Sea Watch, I believe, at one time, and then the other one on Chromia. This never got to happen. If you saw the video where I kind of showed off the cards that were in this deck originally, and then I thought I would try to tweak it. Well, maybe I shouldn't have, because I still have a lot of white in this deck, but not a lot of white as I used to. And so whenever one of my motorcycles did attack, I never pulled off the stratagem, which really stunk. Of course, it was only 1 game, and I don't have time for another one right now. I need to get back to work. But I just want to share y'all what I kind of got here. In this deck, was trying to do a little bit to be able to use Trax and Sky Shadow and both their stratagems, maxing out their star counts and thinking, well, what can I do with them deck-wise? And it's a really weird deck. Probably not many people would probably want this deck, but it worked for what I wanted it to. And of course, I did get to pull off where Trax flips, gives 2 extra attack to Sky Shadow plane, which was sort of my premise all along anyway. And I did get to do it once before he got knocked out by the bike gang and the water boys or whatever over there. So that's all I really have right now. We did get to use a force field on Sky Shadow tank, but they knocked it off with a battle card, so it didn't get to stay on there for very long. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Maybe when I have more time, I'll be able to go over this deck, which is it's a fun deck. And Sky Shadow didn't even get knocked out. Like I said, one of his parts did, and I'm just now realizing this is not Sky Tread, who I actually like a little better. Because if you use the separate parts of Sky Shadow without their stratagem, they cannot combine. You have to have the stratagem. If you don't have the stratagem, they can't combine with Ominous. They're just unflippable alt modes. And I'm like, oh, okay. So without further ado, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Have a blessed day. And as always, flip out and let's roll for it. Part 3. Here we go. Okay, this is the Sky Shadow deck that I used for a whole 1 game. But this is kind of interesting because I have, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 10 blues in here. And one of them is Leap into Battle. And then we have 10 orange action cards right here, for the most part. I have just a couple of sprinkled in green weapons. Like, we got Soldier's Blaster, we have Enforcement Batons, Dismantling Claw, Metal Detector. I don't know why I have this in here. I guess for the white and then green and be able to add an extra Pierce. But as much as we were hitting the other team with this, Pierce really didn't come into play. Even though, I have a couple of secret actions like, jam signals, 2 defensive formations. I thought there was another one. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just thinking of maybe I'm thinking like designated target up there. Okay, now I do have probably a little more blank cards than I should. I know I see at least 3, and you're probably thinking, Grillenheimer, what are you doing? Yes, this is for a 45 card deck. I did not get to use any of these 3 in the game. Another game I had, I think it was even like a 42 card deck. I got to use some of these in Tidal Wave. That's right, in my Tidal Wave thing. Having them knocked out on your own, so you get them knocked out and your opponent doesn't. That never really happened here. I really didn't get to use these. I didn't get to use Reckless Charge. I did swap out to try to use Scrounge, which actually backfired. And I really, these 2 blue cards, utilities, these 2 weapons are really, Trax can only use them because it's basically Trax and Sky Shadow, and only Trax can use these. But I thought, it would give him, 2 attack if I pull it, or even bold 2, because Sky Shadow has some bold going for him as well. So anyway, but I have 1 medic card, but we do have 2 of the EM 24-hour laser launchers for some +3 attack as well. Of course, only the 3 improvised shields, 1 handheld blaster. I was thinking about having more handheld blasters, and I thought, maybe I need at least 1. But like I said, I have about 8 blues out of 10 blues out of 45 cards, which is a little more than 10%, about 11%. On that, and then we have a little bit of black, double black, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the fight for position, 6 for the repurpose, 7 for the metal detector, and that's it. I really don't have a whole lot of Pierce in here. Of course, we got the designated target with Pierce 2. Pierce 1 on the personal targeting drone, like that really matters. But this was a neat little deck. And I don't know why I have rapid conversion. Well, yeah, I do know why I have rapid conversion in here. For the time I have to flip Trax, and I have to flip him over to bot mode on his turn, I could flip him back over again and have him give the +2 if Sky Shuttle Plane is in play, etc., etc. So, and I was able to, like I mentioned before in part 2, where I had, where I just talked about that metal detector here, where I used it. I had it on the character. I tap them to attack. Well, I revealed the top card, and it happened to be the basic combat protocol. Well, when you this was already in use, but you haven't flipped yet, so you're able to play this card, put it on your character. Well, then you flip for attack, so you get to include this bold, which is bold 3. I think it was the Sky Shadow Plane actually before he combined into Sky Shadow. And Attrax didn't get to see a lot of action. Like I said, I didn't get to use these, but the more I play with them, I might play them again with my Bike Gals and the Beach Boys. Actually, I like that a lot better. Bike Gals and the Beach Boys. And I want to pull out my old my Sky Tread group, which I really liked. Yeah, Megatron's, he's okay, but of course, Captain, what's his face? Some new character that the Wreck and Rule Wrecker people like. Impactor. Captain, is that his name? That I pair him up with Skytread and like Caliburst or whatever. And they work okay together, and maybe have these two teams go against each other and see what happens there, and actually play them 3 times in a row and see who wins. But yeah, these guys, I mean, there's nothing on here. It just says tough 2 for the tank and bold 2 for the plane. That is it. That's just it. You can't combine. You have to have the Sky Shadow Sync, which I didn't realize that. I guess Sky Tread, which apparently nobody was playing with except for me, myself, and I here in my own home. When one of them gets flipped out, you can go ahead and combine them. Of course, they don't have a Titan Master like Sky Shadow does. So to be able to pop up and go, hello, I'm here, I'm combined. But that's really all I have right now. But this is, a lot of neat stuff going for it. Putting on shoulder holster and adding an extra weapon if you got it. Putting on metal detector and playing another upgrade. Anticipation engine, when you attack, reveal the card. When you attack, reveal the card. We got some of that going on. Being able to do a leap, leap into battle. I like that. I call them pig charges, even though it's industrial grade phase charge, IGP. I just swap it around and say pig charge, because when you scrap it, it goes from 2 to 3. And that's just really neat, especially if you happen to have, shoulder holster, and you're able to pull. You already have this on there. You put on shoulder holster. You pull another of any of these upgrades, put it on there too. Then when you attack, you scrap this one. Your attack alone goes from 5 to say 6, or 5 to say 6 by simply scrapping this when you attack. I think. Yeah, the upgraded character gets +3 until the end of the turn. So you don't get the +2 anymore, you get the +3. So you can't add these because this is no longer upgraded or attached to your character when you attack. You scrapped it. So the attack goes from 2 to 3. That's how I read this, and that's how I've been playing it. Did get to use Force Field, but it got, thrown off. But this is a neat kind of deck. Little mixed. Might change this out. Again, I got the designated targets in there, mainly just for the double blacks. Oh gosh, I have no light in this room. It's the sun behind me is just sort of went behind a cloud. But a good bit of orange cards here. Yeah, there's 21 orange cards here, which is not bad. It's about not quite half the deck since it is 45, but I was drawing a lot of orange. Track's got some nice hits in. He had a couple of neat things on him. Of course, I would not put the static laser of Ironhide on tracks, only on the Sky Shadow parts to be able to get him put together. But like I said, that hasn't happened yet. But in a neat little deck. It seems to be okay. It seems to have some neat things going for it. If you want to have anything to do with it, I gotta go. I gotta get back to work. But thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. And as always, wait, I've already done that, haven't I? Yeah. Good night.